What kind of car would make even the most impatient driver cool down and drive slow and not honk at all? I don't know about other countries, but this happens in UK. Can you think of a car? Let me tell you a story. This happened to me recently. I was going somewhere in my car. I was going to meet my running club. You've met my running club. So we were going to go for a run. So I was driving to go and meet them. But when I got to the main road, it was a single lane road and I got stuck behind another car. It was a red SUV. And normally SUV drivers drive like Fast and Furious style. But this guy was driving slower than normal even. And there was no place for me to overtake. This was like a very single lane, so you have to go to the other side to overtake like very aggressively. And I was not late, but I was on the time. Like if I didn't move along, I would be late. So I was getting frustrated. He was driving 30 in a 40 miles zone. Okay. Then I noticed that in front of him was another car, a white sedan. And that car was driving 30 in the 40 zone, which is why red SUV was stuck driving 40 and which is why I was stuck driving 30. Which is why the red SUV was stuck driving 30 and I was stuck driving 30 as well. So I was like, hey, why is he not overtaking? Because sometimes when people are impatient, they will either flash their lights at you or even honk if you're driving too slow. This car is not doing anything. So I wondered about that for a minute. Then after a couple of minutes, the road divided into two lanes and I went into the right hand side. This is left-hand drive in UK, so I went to the right hand side for the faster one. And then I saw the white car. Okay, and when I saw the white car, like, oh, okay, that's why. I'll bet you can't guess what it was. The white car had a sticker on it that said L in red color on a white background. So that means that was a learner driver. And I don't know what it is like in the other cultures, in the other countries, but here, nobody honks at the learner drivers. Nobody overtakes them aggressively. Nobody flashes their lights at them. They give them all the space they need. They don't crowd them. They give them a lot of leverage on the road. Why is that? Because everybody remembers their own time when they were learning and how nervous they were and how many times they stalled the car. Okay, I have had driving license in 3 countries: India, US and UK. And UK test is the toughest one, like stupidly tough. Okay, even the theory one is very tough and stupid. I'll tell you why it is stupid, but then you will get bored because I'll have to go into details. But it is stupid, okay? And once you pass that, you get the learner's license. You can drive with another proper driver who is licensed, and you have to have that L pasted somewhere on your car, like front and back. And there is also a rule about you have to take that many lessons. Like it was 10 lessons before. You have to take 10 lessons between your learner's license and before taking the exam for the practical test. And that is a very tough part for anybody's life, okay? Another thing here that is funny and which is not there in US is that in US, a driving license is a driving license. You take that, you drive any car. Here, if you take the exam in an automatic car, then you can only drive an automatic car. So if you take an exam in a manual transmission car, then you get a license which allows you to drive both manual and automatic. And most people go for the manual one. I did as well, just to keep my options open so I can buy either of those two types of cars. But it just makes it a little bit more, yeah, it's horrible. All those hill starts and stalling in the middle of the road. All kinds of things happen, man. I failed my exam the first time, not the theory one. Theory one was stupid, but I passed it because I knew in what way it was stupid. And the practical one, I failed the first time. You're allowed like 3 big mistakes and 15 minor mistakes. So if you don't give an indicator, that's a minor, things like that. So I failed the first time. The second time I passed. The second time I passed much easier than the first time as well. So I did not even make that many mistakes. And most people you will talk to in UK, you will find that they had to give the exam at least twice or sometimes more, sometimes even 5 or 6 times. Okay, and it is a very stressful time of your life when you're going through that training. So people remember that, and people remember that other people did not honk at them. So, for example, a couple of days after this incident, I was going to meet my friends on the weekend, and I drove into the rooftop car park at the French Gate. French Gate is the local mall. So I drove in, and it's like an open area, the top floor, and there was somebody who was taking a U-turn at one of the T junctions within the car park. So and they had an L plate on there. So I stopped way back to give them space without any hassle to turn around. It was not a very big space in the corner as well, so they could take the time. And then I was not the only one. There was somebody on the other side, on the other road in the T junction, and they also stopped further back to give this person space. So finally, she turned around, and then when she passed by me, she did like, the thank you sign. So I smiled and nodded. But here's the thing. When she gets her license, and when she's, let's say, 5 years down the line, when she has 5 years of driving experience under her belt, and she's like a really good driver, and she comes across somebody who's taking a U-turn or somebody who's driving 30 in a 40 zone, is she going to honk? She's not going to honk. But that is how it is. When I was driving, nobody honked at me when I was learning the driving. Now people do. Now if I'm driving slow in a fast zone, people do flash their lights or tailgate you very aggressively or something. When I was learning, everybody was very chilled out. Like they give you space. If you stall, nobody honks. Even if you stall the engine and you stop in the middle of a junction, nobody honks at you. So that is how much kindness people show you. And this is the circle of kindness. Once you go through this, you learn that, you remember that, you show the same kindness to other people. Like that girl, she'll remember that people were being kind to her. So when she becomes a really good driver and then she sees people like that, she will be kind to them. And I just think it's a really nice thing. It makes me happy and proud to be part of this British culture where we have this kind of empathy, if you want to use a fancy word, where we can kind of put ourselves in other person's shoes because we have been through that situation. I just feel that if we could do it for more situations and more people, because learning driving is one place where you have a sign and everybody knows what situation you are in, but everybody's fighting their own battles. You don't always know what somebody else is going through. So if we could cut each other a little bit more slack, be a little bit more kind rather than jump down somebody's throat right away for making a small mistakes or any kind of situation, that would be quite good. So my hope, wish, and request with the human race is that we expand the circle of kindness a little bit more. That would be really fantastic. Otherwise, I'm still happy that at least we do it for the learner drivers. Thank you for watching. If you want to be kind to me, you can put a comment down below and tell me your experience. How many times did it take you to pass the practical test if you are in UK, if you have a license, and anywhere you are? And do you have this culture in your country? Love to hear from you. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the